efficient runs where you're gaining 4 more yards. And then, a good day for a quarterback would be, 8 yards an attempt. So, you hit a 40-yarder, you can skip a lot of those plays in the meantime. So I know every defense goes into every game going, look, we can't give up any big plays. And I think when you hit them, for them, it's, that makes them think about, being aggressive on certain calls. And, we always have good matchups, with our receiver groupings, and we definitely have a lot of fast guys. So I was taught at a young age in my quarterback career, make them defend every blade of grass. So, and if they're going to, jump routes, you gotta throw it by them. And if they're going to play off, you got to throw it in front of them. And they're going to play inside, you got to throw it outside. And I think that's just part of the flow of the game. So the guys' abilities to catch those balls is really impressive. And a guy like Scotty and Mike, Chris, their ability to track the ball down the field and run full speed, but then also look back over their shoulder and, put their hands out and make the play. That's a whole nother thing. So those guys are all doing a great job of that.
Thanks.
Okay, next is going to Ed and Cena.
And Tom, obviously, injuries are a part of the game, and everyone has a next man up mentality. But from listening to the way O.J. Howard talked about you and the way you talked about him, it seems that you guys formed a pretty quick bond. I mean, and from a human element, how tough is it to see a young, talented guy like O.J. Howard go down for the rest of the season?
It's really, it's a tough injury, and it's a tough to lose a guy like that who, everyone loves being around because he's a great teammate and he does everything that everyone asks him to do. And he's a very talented player and he's got a great attitude, and, he brings his best every day, and he's dependable, consistent. And, to lose a guy like that is a big blow for all of us. So we care about him and who he is as a person, as a man. And, I know he'll overcome this. It's just the kind of person he is. He's an extremely hard worker. So he'll rehab good and he'll be back. And I think he'll be better than ever. So it's a tough break for him and tough break for our team to lose someone of that caliber. But, we're all supportive of him and what's ahead of him, which I know he'll overcome.
All right, next is Jenna Lane.
Technology. Okay. I know how important it is for you to have relationships with your teammates, Tom, on the field, off the field. And I also can tell it's important for you to be seen as a normal guy to them. So what's it been like for you? Because that there's a little bit of that initial awe factor, right? These guys all grew up watching you. They look up to you so much. What's it like, though, getting past some of that to where you feel like you're just Tommy to them, right? I think that was the first time Bruce Arians actually called you Tommy the other day with us. So what's it like getting past all that and really getting to start developing these true personal relationship with your squad mates?
Well, I've always felt like that, when you're in a locker room like that for as long as I've been in, it doesn't feel like I've ever left the locker room. So, what you have with this sport is you have your memories and you have relationships, and that's what it comes down to for me. And to have the opportunity to come here and develop relationships with, a different set of people. And that's happened obviously in my time, in my 20-year career, but to come down to Tampa, to join a team and to be embraced the way I've been embraced has been, it's just been amazing for me. And I just enjoyed every minute of it. I take that responsibility, being a quarterback, being a leader, being a captain. I take those very, I'm not lightly. I want to show up and be the best for my teammates every day. And I know they count on me to be dependable, consistent. They depend on me to be, a great player for the team. And I want to deliver for them. And it's really been a privilege for me to be here.
Okay, next is Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, I wanted to ask you about your offensive line on Sunday. Not just the line, but the backs and the tight ends they protected. Just how much easier it is to have the kind of game you have when you have a clean pocket to work with.
Well, I think, every game starts with offensive line and what they do and how they handle their business. And Ryan, Cap, Allie, Donnie, and Tristan have just done a great job. Goody's a great line coach. Those guys are so coordinated and they're playing so well together. Their communication's really good. They're tough. They really set the tempo, and we got off to a really good start in the run game. That first drive was really good, and it's got to be more of that too as we move forward, because when you're really good in the run game, it just sets up more opportunity in the pass game, and when you do well in the pass game, it just sets up more opportunity in the run game. And the problem is, if you struggle in one area, it just forces you actually into the other area, which makes it even harder. So if you're struggling running the ball, then they're going to try to make you one-dimensional and throw it, which makes it very hard to do that. So being able to play on our terms, like we did for whatever the first drive, and then even later in the game, we didn't experience much in the middle part of that game, but that's really where you want to be playing football. Is you got to try to get a lead, play from ahead, play on your terms. You got everything at your disposal, and the guys up front really set the tone. So I love the way they're playing. There's a great group of guys, a hardworking group of guys, and we're just going to keep grinding together and see if we can continue to make improvements.
Okay, we're going to go to Scott Reynolds for our last question.
Hey, Tom, Ronald Jones came through with a 100-yard game for you. He's still a young back, and you've been around a plethora of backs in your career. What do you like about Rojo, and where do you think his game can get to in terms of where his ceiling might be?
I think it's I'd say for all players, and obviously it speaks to running backs, but quarterbacks too, offensive line, defensive back. It's about being decisive. And there's a lot of things that are happening very quickly, and you've got to make good decisions. But there's a lot of black and white, and then there's gray area. And when you eliminate the gray area and you can be decisive, whether you're a runner or a thrower or a tackler, you can just play aggressive. When you play aggressive, you play with your max ability. If you're not sure, you're in between, or it's no good. And I think being decisive and watching Rowe run like he has this year, and it's watching Leonard run, watching Keyshawn run, they can be very decisive because they trust the line. They know when to make their cut. They're in a good position to get downhill in the running game and then be decisive and run through the holes and really attack the defense. And Rowe's been doing a great job of that all year. It really showed up the other day. And again, we're just going to need more of it. It's only been 4 weeks. We got hell of a lot longer to go than this. And we've got to, continue to improve from here.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks, Tom.
Appreciate it. Safe travels, guys. Thank you.